All right, let's do some discourse here. The Decibel top 40 of whatever 2023 is officially out, and they always release this super early. I don't know why. I don't know. To me, there's still a whole freaking month worth of music that could possibly come out, but I'm sure they got promo copies, which they did, because there's some stuff on here that still hasn't been released yet. But hey, what's up, YouTube? It is Molly back with My Loves Death Metal. Obviously. So I don't really give a fuck like what these guys put on their list. I don't ever go off of this or try and mimic my list to be like theirs or anything like that. But it is always interesting to see what they put on every year. And it piques my interest from time to time, but I don't get angry about it. People get legitimately angry about it. And there's just going to be all types of discourse on social media. But I figured let's react to this. Let's talk about this list here, and let's see if there's anything on here that is shocking, which I don't think there is. Well, there is one thing. I looked at it already. There's one thing that I kind of was like, that's a little too high. Now, I'm going to be doing a year-end list this year, but I'm not going to be ranking them. I'm just going to be like, these are my favorite albums of the year. I do have like one album of the year. I will say that for both black and death metal, but for the most part, I'm not going to rank them all because there's going to be like 50 items on my list, and there's still some stuff that's coming out, so that's not going to be until the end of the year, as it should be. So let's go ahead and get started. Decibel Magazine, admittedly, I have subscribed to them several times in the past. I'm not anymore. I got tired of magazines stacking up and just wasting space, but I still, from time to time, read, their interviews and stuff, and they've got the Metal and Beer Fest, which this year they just announced it in April, and it looks awesome. We'll get to that in a minute. But they're number 40. Okay, so I never talked about. Did I talk about this album on here? I didn't. Heidsmagard. I can never say their name. Black Medium Current on Peaceville. So this is a black metal, very very strange, out there, progressive black metal album. I do own it. I haven't talked about it on here yet. It's not something I'm going to listen to all the time. It reminds me of like a Pink Floyd version of black metal. Somebody wants to be my friend on Epic Games. We'll close that. Anyway, it's good, but it's not something I listen to all the time. I don't consider it one of my favorite albums this year, but okay. I haven't heard the new Commodus album, but I do like Commodus's work. I didn't know that there was a new album out this year. Also, it's on Go to War X, so that's probably why, because their shit's impossible to get, and I stopped trying. So I gotta listen to that. I don't know what Street Tombs is. It's on Carbonized Records, though, so I'll probably like it. So I gotta listen to that. Obituary is definitely one of my favorites this year. I probably would have this a little bit higher if I were to be ranking them, but I'm not going to. But that's a great one. Fire in the Distance on Prosthetic. I don't know this one. So I'm gonna have to go listen to this. Go ahead and comment below what this is. I don't think I even have any clue what this is. I'm curious now. The Distance. Prosthetic. I can't fucking type. Ain't not meant for us. Oh, yes. Okay. I do know this. Okay, yeah. Fires in Distance. First of all, I can't spell or read. Yeah. This is pretty good. I didn't know this was Prosthetic, though. I saw this on Bandcamp, and I listened to it. I liked it. But that was a while ago when it first came out. So, yeah, back in April. So, okay, yeah, so I do know this. That is a pretty good album. All right, I'll have to go back and check that out again and see. Witching on Translation Lost. I have not heard this yet. I generally keep up with Translation Lost, but this year I kind of faded into the distance and didn't pay much attention to their label. I'm sorry. So I got to go back and listen to that. Circle of Ouroboros. I don't know what this is either. I bet I will buy the album cover, though. If I see something, generally buy the album cover. Let's see. Who are you? You are experimental black metal acoustic. You've got a lot of albums out. You got this. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Never heard of this album. No idea. My big ass face is in the way. Sorry. Let me move it. There you go. Yeah, no, I don't know what that is. So I'll have to go back and listen to this. I'm going to write down some stuff to go back and listen to. Cattle Decap. Yep. That's a great album. Final Gasp. I had a hard time getting into this. I need to go back and listen to it. Spirit Adrift, I didn't know they came out with a new album this year. But again, they're on Century Media. I tend to not pay much attention to Century Media these days just because their album prices are stupid. But I do like Spirit of Drift, I will admit, and I do have all of their other albums from 20 Bucks Spin. So I'll have to go back and listen to this. I'll probably like it. I like their music. I just have to be in the mood for it. I'm not always in the mood for it. Kriegsgrav. I think I saw this one. I don't know how to say this. Kriegsgrav? Kriegsgrav? Yeah. Yeah, I know these guys. Okay. I've seen this trending on Bandcamp quite a bit. I haven't listened to it yet though. I'll have to check this out. So there are a couple things on here that I haven't listened to yet. Also, Wise Blood is an awesome label. You should check them out. Willhaven, we don't know what this one is either. Wow, they're really pouring on the stuff that I've never heard yet. Let's see here. What is this? 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I have no idea what this is either. Never heard this, so I'll have to check this out too. Okay, so good job, Decibel. Normally I know like most of these releases on their list, but this year I'm failing. Smolder, not my thing. I know that's what's her name from Banger TV's band. I listened to it. I couldn't get into it. I'm just not in the mood for it. But I know a lot of people really, really like it. I've got to try it again, but it's not something that I can see myself like really falling in love with, unfortunately. Cruelty, this is good. This is hardcore, like that hardcore, metallic hardcore infused with death metal, pretty much mostly hardcore. I did like this album when it first came out earlier this year, but I haven't listened to it since, and it's not something that I see myself listening to a lot, but they are a really cool band. So if you're into that, you should definitely check that out. Night Demon, I don't know what that is. Damn, I'm doing really bad here. I don't know what this is. What is this? This looks like something I probably wouldn't like. Sometimes you can just tell by a band name. Night Demon. Yeah, is this that? What is this? What are they? What band is this? I feel like I'm failing here. It's a heavy metal band. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. How long have they been around? Since 2011? Modern heavy metal is not something I typically get into a whole lot. I'm very much an old head when it comes to heavy metal music. So I'll check that out. I'll see how that is. Incantation, yes. Obviously, we know this. That's a great album. Filth is Eternal on MNRK. I feel like I listened to this slightly because it got sent to me in a promo, and I was like, nah, not my thing. Is this it? Find out. Is this like hardcore? I don't really know this album. No idea what this is. Okay, so we're doing good here. There's a lot of albums on this list that I haven't listened to or don't really know. Cannibal Corpse, obviously. This one, I'm actually surprised this is on there. Decibel just seems like somebody that would purposely not put it on there just because. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Great Falls, I don't know what this is either. Jesus Christ. I'm not gonna look it up. I'll keep note. Krieg, this is pretty good. I did like this. I need to take some more time with it though. Rid of Me. What is this? Damn, they're really tapping into the stuff that I've never really listened to. What is it called? Access to the Lonely. Here we go. Yeah, okay, just gonna be honest, it might be okay. I'm not shitting on it. It looks like it's a lot of noise and punk. Maybe I won't like it. But if I saw this album cover, chances are I probably wouldn't even bother with it. Because, yeah, this does not look like something I would enjoy. But you may like it. That's totally okay. I'll give it a chance. I'll listen to it. I'm going to go back and listen to most of these things that I don't know or have not heard. Just to see, like, what makes them stand out. Mizmor is one of my favorite releases this year. I cannot stop listening to that album. Autopsy, same. Yes, so this one is not out yet. The Cruciamentum, I can never say their name. Out in Profound Lore. This is their first album in a long time. It's good. I got the promo for it a couple weeks ago and I listened to it. So yeah, this is good. This comes out next weekend though. So this is going to be another top release for sure. Tribunal is amazing. I love this album. Not something I listen to all the time, but it is a very good album. The Night in Eternal on Van. I don't know how to say their album name. Their label name. what's it called? Fatale. But they put out really good releases, so this is probably something that I'll like. I don't know. I haven't listened to it yet, but damn, everybody's just popping up things. But yeah, I don't know what that is. I'll have to listen to it, but I'm sure I'll like it because they tend to put out really good stuff. Enslaved is not my thing. I couldn't get into it. Same thing with Gel. These two albums I just can't get into. Enslaved is really hit or miss for me. One of those bands that I kind of feel is a little bit overrated. Probably pissing a lot of people off. Same thing with Gel. Enforced, I could not get into their new album this year. I just did not like it. It reminded me way too much of Riley Gale's band. What the hell were they called? Holy shit. Why is my brain gone? Why is my brain gone? Word it out. Power Trip. It reminded me a lot of Power Trip. I couldn't do it this year. I liked their first two albums, but this one it didn't do much for me. So I need to maybe give it another chance. I know a lot of people love Enforced, but they're a very hit or miss band for me. I have to be in the mood for them. Black Braid, as everybody knows, I like this. The Keening was not my thing. Thantafaxis. So a lot of people love this album this year. I did not, which is surprising because I do like those albums that like really work the brain and make you think and whatever else and can be harsh listens. This one I just could not get into. I've heard a lot of people talk about it. A couple of my friends like love it. I think even was it either Alan or Simon? I can't remember. One of you guys said this is probably one of your favorite albums this year. It's just not my thing. I liked it when I first heard it because I maybe it was a mood, but since then I've tried to listen to it a couple times and it's just not. I can't get into it, but maybe we'll try again. We'll see, because my moods change, as do everybody's. Frozen Soul, not going to be on my year-long list. I'll be honest with you. I liked it when it first came out. No shot, no like shade at the band or anything, but this is an album that pretty much just kind of. I like it, but I don't love it, and there's a lot of good songs, and when I first heard the album I was pumped for it and excited because I like the band a lot, but in tens of listenability and stuff like that, I have barely touched it since then, but I'm surprised it's at number 8. This was the one that shocked me at how high this was on their list. Again, no shade at the band or anything like that. But I was shocked to see it so high on Decibel's list. I for sure thought this would be at least in the 30s. So they really like it. I mean, that's great. It's just not in terms of like going back and listening to it. I did a review for it and I really enjoyed it. And I did say that, and I do enjoy it. I just, in terms of like pulling it off the shelf and re-listening to it, I'm going to pull their first album 99% of the time. This album is a little bit too clean, I guess you could say. For me, sometimes I'm just not always in the mood for that. So, but again, to each their own. Same thing with Lamp of Murmur. I did like this album, I'm not gonna lie, but I have not listened to it since it came out, and I just have to be in the mood for it. I much prefer Lamp of Murmur's older stuff that was more raw black metal, not as clean. The stuff that was like really culty to find. I prefer that. So, but I'll give it a try. Panopticon, the Panopticon does not disappoint at all. And from what I've heard so far, this is probably going to be a top album for me, which is not a surprise. Like, there's a huge bias here also because I absolutely love Austin, and just everything he touches, it turns it into solid gold. He's just a fantastic artist. So, this one, I saw this one. What is it? God Theorem? Is that how you say their name? I saw this come out, and I saw the release of it. And for the most part, I'm pretty much up on Profound Lore stuff. Epic Doom Metal, I really, really enjoy, but again, I have to be in the mood for it. So this came out in August, and I have not actually really listened to it yet. So I'll have to give this a try. I think when this came out at the time, I really was not in the mood for that type of music. I do not like Jesus Piece. Sorry, guys. I just couldn't get into it. Wayfarer is excellent. I love this album. I love this band. And that's going to be pretty high up there for me as well in regards to some of my favorite albums this year. Tumult, we won't even bother talking about it. I don't need to deal with the shit. And then Horrendous is their number 1. Now, I'm not surprised by this, and that's because this is one of my all-time favorite albums this year, without a doubt, and I still listen to it all the time. I think it's fantastic, and it has caused me to go back and listen to their other albums, and I'm a big fan of this band now. I wasn't a huge fan of their first couple of albums, but I've gone back and re-listened with more of an open mind, and I'm a huge fan. So, yeah, don't be surprised when you see my year on this. This is going to be on there because I love this album. I think it's fantastic. So awesome that Awesome is on the front of the new Decibel magazine. I am going to buy this just for that reason. Show some support. There's a Vastum Flexidix, which is also cool. Actually, is this out now? Can I get it now? I can. All right. Let's add to cart. Let's check out. Let's close this so you don't see things. Okay. I might have to blur that out because I think my credit card just popped up. But I'll go back and get that. So that's awesome. So congrats, Austin, on that. I think he's been on the front before, too. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. But that's awesome. So this is Decibel's albums of the year. I'm interested to see like what you all think about it. I know it's going to just create a bunch of discourse. People are just going to be arguing about it and thinking, saying shit. And what about this? And what about this? And honestly, like that happens every year with year-end lists. I can't tell you how many comments I get about you didn't include this and you didn't put this there. And I was like, yeah, because I didn't listen to it or I didn't like it. So, but I think it's a pretty solid list. There's probably like 10 albums I wasn't familiar with or something like that. So that's pretty good. So I'll go back and listen to some things and see. But yeah. Cheap, easy content to put up on the channel today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.